Hey, can you hear me? Look, check it out. Ignite Her has launched. It is 2025. I'm just picking up clothes from one of my friends who had some extra clothes to help out the Ignite Her program. If you have any gently worn business attire, clothes for women who are out here doing the work but maybe do not have the clothing that they need to get the job done, we need your old clothes. Hit me up in my inbox or through House of Peach. The program is called Ignite Her, where we provide clothing to women who may be transitioning from one job to the next and maybe don't have the means to buy clothes. It could be going from working at McDonald's to now working in an office. So we're looking for gently worn business clothes. Make sure y'all hit us up, all right? Please hit us up. We need those clothes. And check right below there. If you're not in the state of Delaware, you can mail them to us. Or if you're in Delaware, we'll pick them up. Y'all have a great evening.
Hey, what's going on? Listen. Welcome to the Boss Ladies Lounge. And guess what, y'all? This is the last show for the season. And then Morgan and I will be on a little hiatus until the beginning of 2026. We have already gone past that first 6 months of the year. Can you believe that? I can't believe it.
I can't. I definitely can't.
I know. So I hope everyone has had their great weekend. My weekend, of course, was busy like it always is, but we are here and we have a show that's going to make you laugh. It is going to make you think. We want to go out with the bang. So we're going to do that today. Today, we are going to be talking about the woes of online dating. But before we get into that, Mo, how are you? You ready for this? Are you ready?
I am, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to call you ahead of time because, listen, we got some talking to do. We got some talking to do. I'm super excited.
I put some notes in my phone of some things to talk about. So I'm like,
I've got
we have
some
to talk about
friends
this.
who are like, if they are free, they will surely pop in
Oh
and
yeah,
share
we
their
need
2 cents too. So I'm excited about this
we need
conversation.
everybody to come on. So I got a notification. This just made me laugh so much. I got a notification last week, and I believe it was Peach that did it. Took a clip of what I said about
Well,
the guy looking like the penguin from Batman, and I didn't know that it was on there until I saw the notification, and I went on there and I started hollering like I was so dead serious because honestly, that's what the guy looked like. But y'all, today, before let me do some announcement stuff before we get into it because I have been like waiting for this since last Monday. Been waiting for this show. So what we're going to do is this is our last show for this season, and we did this last year, and we go off and then we take some time to regroup and to make some changes, some improvements, all of that, and then we'll come back strong at the beginning of 2026, which I can't believe I actually said that. 2026, can you believe that? But at any rate, so that's what we're going to do. In the meantime, there's going to be another show that's going to come on. It's not replacing us, so don't y'all get that twisted. It's not. But the name of the show is called the Queens Show, and it's going to be multiple topics with multiple guests. It's going to be amazing. The app for the House of Peach should be completed shortly. You'll be able to see everything dealing with the House of Peach. There will be little clips from our show. There'll be live streaming from the show. There'll be articles there, all kinds of information to keep you abreast of what's going on with the House of Peach. So we want you to stay informed and in tune. There's still a QR code there on the screen that you can utilize to subscribe. That way you stay in touch. But we really, 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 really want you to download the app. I've already downloaded the app and been going through it. And I must say, I am quite impressed. It's a lot of good information on there. So I am so happy to be a part of that. But on today, I don't know what happened with my streaming on my page, but it just disappeared. However, it's all good. All good anyway. So however, we're going to continue on with what's going on with us. So today we're going to talk about online dating. Baby, let me pull up my notes. Let me pull up my notes because those notes are everything. Those notes is everything. And I highlighted it. And so I would go straight to it. Now, where do we want to start with this? I don't even know. Wait a minute. How did we even get to that topic? That's what I don't understand. How did we get there?
You know, I was wondering the same thing because I was like, what?
I don't know.
I really don't know. I feel like it was something very left field. It was one of those, exactly. She said rambling. Exactly. I feel like it was something that was very left field and somehow we made a connection.
Well, at any rate,
and ran with it.
It made an impact. How about that? So I'm going to go on the House of Peach page because I want to see
what if we caught the beginning of this?
Who's going to be on? Is it streaming from there?
Okay.
Or I'll just go to your page and look at it from your page. That'll be even more interesting. Oh no, it's not streaming on here. Oh well. Well, I'm going to your page then. It's on yours.
No, it's not on mine.
It's not on yours, but it was on mine and it kicked off. So I don't know what happened.
It might come back on, but I was like, it wouldn't let me to.
I mean, I had it linked, but anyway, so last week, Morgan and I got to, I don't know how, can't remember, but anyway, we got to talking about online dating. And so today is our He Said, She Said, the last Monday in every month is a topic that can relate to both men and women. And I would love for some of the fellas to come on and talk about because I've heard the stories myself, but to hear it from the men would be even more entertaining. But I have my stories. And we're going to talk about it. Now, I want to ask this question here. What do you think about, I think you said something about this, hats?
Oh, yes.
They only see their faces on their profile.
I call them hat dudes, or, there's other names, but we're going to call them hat dudes.
So why is it, what's the purpose? I don't understand, because when you take the hat off, you look like a totally different person. So why try to be deceptive like that? Now,
put it this way. The same way that we put Spanx on, I feel like
I feel targeted.
They put hats on, It might be an insecurity about their bald head. It may be a way to hide lumps and bumps that they don't want folks to have. And you're absolutely right. This is the thing that I don't understand. I mean, eventually you're gonna have to take the hat off. So, like, I feel like give a sister a whole just honest. This is what this is beforehand, because it's like, it's one thing you got that hat low and the whole 9 yards. Oh my goodness, you over here looking like LL Cool J. Then you take it off,
and you're looking like, I don't know, Elmer Fudd.
Yes, I'm sorry. Right now, the only thing that I could see is what you should never trust a A guy with locks. Yes, a Mr. Potato Head.
Mr.
A guy
Potato
with
Head,
locks
right?
that come down in the front, and then the guy goes like this, and he like flips his locks up, and he's got like this forehead that like goes like halfway.
Right. I
And I,
saw a reel like that. It was somebody put it on Facebook, and they were actually at the grave site. And you know how they have other the mausoleums that they put multiple people in,
yes,
and then they were putting somebody, but the focus was on this man who didn't have any hair from here all the way back, and then he had locks down. And I was like, what is that? And the people were zoomed in on that. I'm like, this is a sad moment. They're putting this body in here, and you're focusing in on, but he was wrong. He should have just shaved it off and let it go, like literally over half his head. Come on.
you'd be surprised. I got an uncle that's like that. He's a
I
Rasta.
will
He's just like,
not.
what's not gonna happen? Like it's nice and short, just like yours in the front, but he's still
Mm-mm,
hanging on to his long
mm-mm,
ponytail in the
mm-mm.
back.
If all of your pictures you have hats on, you're automatic X.
Yeah, exactly. I'm totally fine if they have hats on, and then I mean I need a couple with the hats off. And it's not that you have on a fitted in one picture and then you got a fedora in the other. Like whole hat
Yeah,
off. I need to see what's above the eyebrows.
yeah, that's a problem.
And
I
I mean,
need
and I'm not of child. I'm well. I'm still of childbearing age, but I don't care to have children anymore. So it's not like I'm over here judging your head for future childbirth purposes. Like the whole package just matters, though. You know what I
it
mean?
does.
And it's like, with a hat on, you might look like you have a nice round head, and then you take the hat off and you got an egg shaped head, and that changes the whole look of like what's going on. And I mean, I don't know. Some people like round, some people like oval. Like,
Well, I saw a guy, this is no lie. He had a hat on in one picture. In another
mhm.
picture, he had his hat off. Do you remember back in the day? What was that movie, Coneheads with Dan Aykroyd? It was something like that. I was like, that is a no, a strong no. So men are very adamant, and I read their profiles. They're very adamant about if you don't have full body pictures, then swipe left. Sir, how can you say that and you don't have any full body pictures? We
Oh
want
my
that same
goodness.
thing too.
So let me tell you a story.
Oh God, I'm scared. I'm scared.
So I had put up, a profile with a whole bunch of different pictures. And one of them was, as far as I was concerned, a full body picture, but it was like an action shot. So it wasn't
Okay.
like me just standing there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the question came across and it was just like, you're very pretty. Like, why don't you have any full body pictures of yourself? Like, are you trying to hide something? And I was like, no, actually, I hate taking pictures. If you get a picture of me, it's typically with someone else, or there I have one person, which is a photographer, and she is the person who takes pictures. And I'm sure if you asked her about it, she'll tell you how difficult it is to take a picture of me. So at this point in time, I mean, you get what you get. If you really need a full body, then I guess you should schedule a one on one.
I
But
don't want to do that.
you're absolutely right though. A lot of the profiles are talking about full body, and a lot of the times they're also talking about full body because they are getting propositioned by a lot of trans gender
Oh
or
yeah.
I was like, at least the heterosexual ones. So I'm seeing that like is a trending thing where they're having to like be very specific about what it is, you know what I mean, that they want. But then I'm like, you can be so specific in all of these areas. Then when it's like, ooh, there's a mutual interest, there's no conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Like zero conversation, zero.
Right.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
what exactly are you supposed to do with this? Like the point of this is because I can't or wouldn't potentially meet you like in person,
Mm-hmm.
we've got to do something a little different.
Mm.
So how are we going to make this make sense if, I mean, we can't have girl, I asked somebody what they did one time and why was the answer that's a private answer. And I was like, what you do? Like, I'm not asking because it's a gold digger. Like, I could care less how much you make, like, as long as you have a job. But as a business owner, you never know. It could be a collaboration. You know what I mean? There might be some things that I could be able to, help you with, be able to speak into your life, all of those kind of things. So,
Right.
like, you know what I mean? I was like, you never know. And the way you just cut it off, I was like, okay, you know what? Yep, that's not it either. I don't know.
Okay.
I see it superficial.
Let me tell you one of my latest. So I got connected with this guy. This had to have been 2 weeks ago. So we liked each other's profile. The very first conversation I had with this guy, very aggressive, like very aggressive. He's like talking about the businesses that he has and the money that he has. And I was like, oh, okay. Then he turns the corner and says this. He's like, I'm a prophet and I preach the Bible. I don't preach doctrine. I preach the Bible. And then he wants to go into things about women, and women don't know what they want. Some women don't know what they want, and da da da. And I was like on the phone. Now it's the middle of the night and I'm tired. So I was like, you know what? I'm about to give this brother a pass just because I'm tired and I may be picking this up incorrectly. Then he says, I expect a good morning text. I was like, oh, okay. That said it just like that. That next day was Monday. We were getting ready to do our show. He calls me right before we go on. I decline it. I sent him a message, say, hey, about to shoot podcast. I'll have to call you afterwards. He sat back, said, okay. After the show, some friends called me. They were dealing with some serious stuff. So I had to talk them through it, and that took a long time. I've been teaching all day. We did a podcast, all this other stuff. I'm tired. I want to go to bed. So I probably was wrong because I probably should have sent him a quick text and say, hey, I just got off the phone with some friends, had some issues. I'm exhausted. We're going to have to talk tomorrow. But I didn't because I've only had one conversation with you. Okay. Next morning, Tuesday morning, 2 weeks ago, I get a text message from him that says, you must not be as interested in me as you said. I was like, here we go. Now, so I respond back and say, that's not the case. And so I ran down what happened. I said, and furthermore, you didn't even ask me what happened. It could have been something that had happened to me, the reason why I couldn't call. So you're just making these assumptions and you just going off like that. And then he made the fatal mistake of calling. So he called me and I let him ramble on for like 3 minutes. And then I said, okay, let me stop you right here. Your point has been made. I understand. I get it. No, and you don't get it. And what you need to do is get your ass. And he was getting ready to say ass. And as soon as he said ass, I said click, hung up on him and blocked him on my phone and on the app. Sir, who do you think you're talking to? I've had one conversation with you. You are not my man. This is not what we're getting ready to do. Really? So you think that I'm just going to let you talk to me any kind of way and I'm just going to be like, oh, I'm so sorry. And let's just try. Block you. What? Why? So I'm like, now I understand even more why are you still on here on this dating site? Why you're still single? Because you don't know how to talk to women. You think women are property and you want to control them. You won't be doing that. I've been through that phase where that did happen. That ain't happening no more. Not when you blocked, dude. You're done.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been one for being demanded to do anything. Not even like, one of those give me a kiss. Like even that rubs me the wrong way. Like you need to ask. And it depends on if I want to or not. Like there are zero obligations, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, communication lacks in a lot of areas. And like what happens past the surface level, hey, how are you, what's the weather like, where are you from, What do you do? Do you have any kids? Are you married? Like after that, like, you know what I mean? Fine. I'm going to even add in there, like, what's your 5 languages? Because everybody wants to ask that. But at the same time, it's just like, do you even know what to do with it after I answer that question?
Right. Where do we go from here?
Because
I
it's not enough to just know somebody's love language. Do you know how to be able to love somebody in that
right.
language, especially if it's different from yours,
Right.
which is how you receive it?
Yeah, absolutely. People misunderstand what those love languages are.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. My thing, I felt like online dating was always about, it was just like an electronic booty call. I'm gonna be
Oh
100%
wow.
real. I really do. And it's just like there's a lot of, in the words of like my husband, he also called like horny toads. There's just like that's all that you are. You're out here and that's what you're, you know what I mean? You're looking for a quick hookup, the next, person, something casual, and then you end
Mhm.
up, on these other apps, like I just got introduced to the T app this weekend. So that's
What?
it's a dating app for women. So if you are wondering if someone is a decent candidate, making sure that there's nothing to hide, they're not a serial cheater, they're not on some kind of registry, those kind of things. Like it's a process to get in, but it's saved a lot of women's lives. It's saved a lot of women's time and effort.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was like, there's a lot of stuff out there where, folks are out here, you got kids and you've got 3 different girlfriends in 3 different, cities because you're a truck driver.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? You have the opportunity of having multiple families. So it's like I don't know, you gotta double down and be asking a separate set of questions and
Yeah. And
you know,
having that conversation has become very tedious
yeah,
because you just do the same thing over and over again robotically. And
yeah.
speaking of truck drivers, who in some of them tend to be the worst, all of the truck drivers that I have had encounters with, and that's what I'm going to call them, encounters, like this good conversation as long as they're on the road. When they disappear, that's when you know something is wrong. Like, are you
Mhm.
serious? One guy had the audacity. I was living in New Jersey. I don't remember what app it was I connected with him. All he wanted was to, when he came into town, to have someone that he could have relations with. I was like, excuse me?
Yeah,
Holding
sometimes
up the
they're
town.
very,
And I'm like,
very.
yeah, I'm not your girl. I'm sorry. He said, well, you sound real nice. I am, but I'm not that nice. So I'm gonna let you go and find whoever you want to find that's gonna be able to do that because it's not gonna be me. Like I can't.
What is the shortest amount of time that you have been propositioned for sex after meeting someone online?
Oh my god. Mm, that's a really good question. Because that's always like the furthest thing from my mind. Like I'm not looking at you for that. Mm. Maybe there was one that was less than a month, and I was like, "What? No, no, no." So then I began to back away, like, "Yeah, this isn't happening. This isn't going down. Please tell me you look like you were like, well, I can beat that. Go ahead and beat it. Tell me."
Well, oh yeah, I could most definitely beat it. Like, I mean, I've had 5 minutes into the conversation. I've had like a week into talking, and we probably only talked like 2 to 3 times. Like, it's very,
I've never had that.
very, yeah, like first, yeah, see, first date, very much so. I
Oh
will tell
God.
you, I remember, so there was a guy that I dated that I met online, and he wanted to, you know how like sometimes you have the conversations about like situations, or you ask questions like, so what's your favorite position, or what is it that you like, you know what I mean? You're having these kind of these conversations. And like it came up, he was just like, yeah, I'm just kind of shy. And I was like, you're shy? Like, I don't understand what that means. And he's just like, well, if we ever get there, we'll see. So eventually, once I gave the green light to see, when I tell you the shy was that this man refused to take any clothes off. Fully clothed, like t-shirt, basketball shorts, whole 9 yards, would literally hike up a short leg. I can't. I can't.
Are you
I'm
serious?
so serious. And it's so funny because, like, to me, I was just like, okay, I don't know if I should bring this up or should I feel some type of way. Like, I'm not really sure. Now, mind you, this is in college, and I had a roommate at the time, and it was funny because one day she's like she came home from the bar late at night, and she's just like fumbling with the keys to come in. She's got headphones in so she doesn't hear anything, and it was funny because it was like payback for me when I accidentally walked in on her one day. So she's like walking in, she opens the door and she just looks like right into his face because of the way our rooms were set up. And I cracked up laughing because I was just like, well, at least he wasn't really humiliated like at all, because he was still very much fully clothed.
Girl, you good. I would have been like, sir, are we gonna keep clothes on? Because if we are, we're gonna stop this right now, because that's just
It honestly didn't last long. But I did get an amazing friendship out of that. So that I was like, that was a good find. Like, not necessarily him, but one of his friends I ended up meeting, and I was like, we've had a really long lasting friendship from that. But I've had some very, very interesting escapades. Oh, I had one that this was when 50 Shades of Grey had initially come out. And I guess he thought that he was Christian Grey 2.0.
Oh, okay then.
I might get a little graphic here, but this is when I tell you the funniest thing ever, right? So I don't remember what we did. We might have gone out to like dinner or something like that. Whatever we were doing, we left, and I had to wait for a train to go home. He did have he was like, I have a car. He was like, you can wait, in my car while you wait for the train. So I was like, all right, fine. So we're sitting in the front seat, you know what I mean? We're sitting, we're talking, whole 9 yards. The conversation is okay. And then he was like, hey, you want to make out? He was like, let's go in the back seat. And to be 100% honest, I can't remember the type of car it is, but like in my memory, I'm thinking more like station wagon ish, because like for some reason, like the back seat, it was a little wider, but not with the long trunk. Cause I remember just being, you know what I mean? A long bench in the back, right? This guy literally gets up, practically knees on the headrest of the back of the seat, spread cheeks, and was like,
in your face?
Yes. And I'm like,
what am I supposed to do with that?
Literally. And I can't even, I probably feel like that's exactly what came out of my mouth, because again, if I don't say it, the subtitles come across my forehead. So I probably was like, what am I supposed to do here? And he was just like, you don't eat the groceries. And I was like, I don't even know I'm like so stunned.
You know what? Your stories have. I don't have anything like that.
I don't think I've ever been asked to do that before. And mind you, I want to say I was probably like 20, 22, 23. So very, very, very new to the game. And I was like, they out here really doing that? I said, this man really, and like, I'm telling you, talked a good game, was very, very good with, the text messages back and forth with all of these things. And I was like, okay. Oh, sorry, I accidentally hit the mute. When you're young, you're trying to figure out what you like, what you don't like, the whole 9 yards. You know what I mean? So you're open to explore. But it got dark real quick, and I was just like, I don't know, like, you're a little too much into this, and I'm not sure if I should be, like, in days now, like, should I be giving someone my location? And
Yeah.
like, my girlfriend was like, listen, if you about to go out on some dates, I need you to share your location, send me your license plate number, let me know their phone number, whole name, you know what I mean? Even take a screenshot real quick. You know what I mean? Mugshot them before you leave the
You
place.
have to. You
Like,
have to. You have to nowadays, because you just never know who you're going to get involved with. Like, you could, I mean, yeah, that takes the cake. I don't have anything that will surpass that. Nothing. Nothing I have experienced will ever come anywhere close to that. Nothing.
oh, I got one even better for you. I remember
There's more.
was I turning 20 at the time? Yeah, because I had just come down here. So I was turning 20, and I did meet this guy online, but he happened to go to another local college. So it was very easy to see him regularly. I typically didn't date anybody that I went to school with. So he came up for a weekend, and he was like, yo, I got to talk to you about something. And I was like, yeah, what's up? He was like, I need you to do me a favor. And I was like, okay, what? This dude said to me, I owe my roommate a favor. So I need you.
Wait.
Yes.
No, he didn't try to pimp you out to the roommate.
And that's exactly what I said. I was like, wait a minute, hold on. So you're asking me to be with your roommate because you owe your roommate? He was like, yeah, my roommate, he let me smash his girl one time. So literally. And I was just like, what planet are you from? And I was like, the weird thing is, I was like, last I checked, you supposed to be. I went on.
Oh, wow, Peach.
Yeah, see, okay. So see, I was like, I'm not too far fetched. But I was just like, really? I was like, I'm also supposed to be your girlfriend. It's not like, I'm just some jump off that you met online. Like, we've been like talking for like a minute now, like on some girlfriend status. And this was the first time I ever dated a guy that was, and I'll say short because I felt like we were eye to eye. So I don't know. He might have been like 5'3". Might have been like 5'5", and then he was younger than me at that. And I was like, I swore that off. I was just like, you know what? You ruined it for everyone. Now you gotta at least be 5'7".
Oh my God.
And at least 5 years older than me. Like,
I really didn't get into the dating scene until about 2019 when I moved to New Jersey. Okay. Because I had been married, and so when I got to New Jersey, very inexperienced, had no knowledge of nothing, just green, like completely green. So it was a process. It really was. like, is this how the dating world is? Like, are you serious? This is what we do? Like, there's one app, and I won't call the name because I don't want to get in trouble with all that. However, I went on this particular app, and on this app, the women do the reaching out. I'm like, I ain't doing that. What am I supposed to do that for? No, you see my profile, you like my profile, you send me a message, we communicate if I'm interested. I'm not getting ready to run you down. Like, what?
Well, that's how I even feel like on Facebook dating. You know what I mean? If I am a female who decides to match with someone, or at least say that I'm interested, and then it shoots it to the other person to say that, like, if you are, then I feel like, we've done more than we would ordinarily do by letting you know that we're interested. You know what I mean? Most of the time you're gonna have to shoot your shot and hope and pray.
Okay, now let's talk about this shooting the shot stuff, okay? Because I don't have a problem with men shooting their shot, but when I pull your profile up and I look at you, can you make sure we match? make sure that you can see. No. Make sure that I can see the two of us together. Because if I look at you and I'm like, Mighty Joe Young, is that you? No. Then it's a no. Then it's a no.
But you know what? There are some really tiny women who like Mighty Joe Youngs.
Well,
So again, you guys shoot your shot. You never know. Listen, they don't.
I'm not talking about the size. I'm talking about the face. I don't mind a man with a little meat on his bones. That's okay. I'm talking about Mighty Joe Young in the face, Mo.
For you, I'm so over you.
I'm talking about the face. I got to be able to look at you and be like, yeah. I don't want to look at you and be like, oh, no, again. So when I see
that happens more,
like, really?
more often than not. Like listen.
They're bold.
I told you I was going to do some recon for today, right? So like all week, it's funny because Facebook be like, "Why don't you fill out some preferences?"
Is that
you be like, no.
Oh my God!
Hell no, no. And you know what I mean? And for me, and I'm like, then it's. I'm sorry, guys. God, why are y'all doing filters? It's going like filters. Yes, I'm like, I can't tell. Did you just intentionally grease your lips for the, or is it lip gloss? Like, are your eyes really that shape, or is this a mascara cover? Like,
I'm skeptical.
What's our skin quality looking like? Because right now, I think your cheeks are a little rosy, sir. But
oh my God, that makes me wonder about some of them I've seen. I'm leery about those that live in Atlanta. There was one guy, he was a nice looking guy, but he had his lips puckered like women do in pictures. I said, oh no. You might be undercover, sir. No thank you.
Oh, listen, my homeboy and I went to Atlanta. We were hanging in the club. This one guy had definitely caught my attention. We were dancing, having a really, really good night. It was one of those, like, you about to in the ear, like, yo, let me get your number. Da, 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 da. My homeboy comes up to me. He was like, yo, that's a girl, right? And I was like, you're the lies you tell. Now, mind you, I figured like I would probably know. I had seen a couple while we were in there, which were, total, like I said, totally fine. And so listen, for me, it's the trans women in Miami, they give so much energy in the clubs where I'm like high-fiving, like, yo, I need to know where you got your shoes, your outfit, the whole 9 years. Like, Miami be popping. When I tell you Atlanta was completely different, where I really had no clue. And I was like, I would have gone home
and been
I promise you that. It was like when I tell you, cut was fresh, like lined up. The whole swagger was everything. And I was just like, wow. And I can't even be mad. Like, I was like, I gotta give you props. Like,
even the most elite will be fooled.
most definitely. But at no point in time did I feel like I was lied to or that I was catfished at all. I mean, I didn't ask any questions. I liked what I liked, and apparently that was the same way. But
right.
Yeah, I was like, that's true. Or you just have some people who still have yet to connect wholly with their sexuality is. And for me, I'm just like, if you haven't, then just be honest about that. You know what I mean? Because it's a very dangerous game, and there's some people out here that are not empathetic, that are not forgiving, that are not open. And then things turn bad quickly, and I feel like you don't want that for anyone. When that guy, what is it, Neve or whatever from Catfish, like, he wouldn't even have a job if it wasn't for people out here online pretending to be someone that they're not. And most of the time that's kind of like what I feel I see. I mean, when everyone hides behind a profile. You know what I mean? I can chat GBT the most beautiful profile and be like a horrid person in real life. And you're not going to get what my profile said. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And so for me, I'm just like, goodness gracious, like this is, it could potentially be or feel like a waste of time.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me wonder, like, so what contributes to why people are saying that the, dating pool is pissy? Like,
Because people are not being truthful. I think they're, and it's so disappointing for women and men. I'm going to add them, and women and men who are serious about what they want, and whatever else they've tried hasn't worked. So this is an option. COVID really messed us up with that because it has gotten worse. But I just came off a 2.5 month hiatus. Like I just all the apps that I was on, I'd shut my profile down and deleted the app. Like I don't want to do this because it was just one wasted moment after another. Like you have no
yeah,
clue what you want. So I don't have the time to waste. It's not like I'm in my 20s and I have time to, just devote to doing that. It's exhausting. It's like having another job.
it
So I
is.
shut them down. Like, you know what? I don't want to be bothered. And I just did my own thing. Like, you know what? I'm going to go and come as I please. I'm not looking for anything. I'm just enjoying myself. And then after a while, once I got over all of that drama and foolishness, I'm like, you know what? Okay, it's been, 2.5 months. Let me just see, you know. So I don't go back on those same apps because that's where the garbage was. And I was on like 4 of them and it was unbelievable. Like, sir, I'm sorry that I appreciate you liking my profile, but you're not even appealing to me.
Yeah.
Your first thing is I have to be able, you got to be attractive to me. If you're attractive to me, then I read a little bit further. If I look at your pictures and I'm like, then I don't care what your profile says.
I've seen a lot of attractive people, but then you become very unattractive the moment they start opening their mouths.
Yes. Or you're attractive and I read what you have in your profile and I'm not taking this and I don't want that and I'm not your this and I'm not your that. And it's like, yeah, I'm turned off.
Yeah.
You didn't
Or
you
it's
didn't
just
even
the
follow that.
casual bit. And I'd be like, okay, so why are you here? Like, I mean, I don't know. Good looking people who want a casual situations don't need to be on a dating site. They just
Yeah.
need to
Do
walk
not.
outside.
Yeah. I don't even
Just walk outside. I'm sure someone will come to you.
Oh yeah,
Like,
those are the ones that I don't. This latest app was that you could have. You're looking for something serious. You're just browsing singles. You're unsure. So I don't. If you look, I want to read, and if it says browsing singles or you're unsure or one, a few of them were separated. Like, sir, why are you on here? Why? But yeah, so I come off the
yeah, apparently
hiatus.
most a lot of men on these dating apps are married. And no,
Why
they're not
is that?
legally separated. No, they're not getting a divorce. Some of them
Oh.
do have multiple. Yeah, some of them are like serial site habitual like site members as well. Like I
Oh,
remember being in a group and this one guy ended up getting posted and the lady's like, yeah, he's on like 8 different dating sites. So I'm like, imagine if like someone really like optimized their dating potential by being out there like that on that many
oh,
sites. Like what exactly you would get. Like that's hilarious.
I'm so over it.
But
It's so exhausting.
scary, excuse me, scary at the same time.
It's very exhausting. It is very discouraging. And the way that I grew up, we were always, because I grew up in the church, and they're like, "Oh, just get you a good man in the church," and I'm like, "Been there, done that." Divorced and it did not work. Like, are you serious? Those are some of the worst ones in the church. Not all of them. Now, I'm not going to say all of them are, but there are several of them that are. And then you want me to subject myself to that? Well, I'm just trying to find out where I'm supposed to go and what I'm supposed to do because at this point I'm like, well, shoot, I'll just be here. Just be here. Oh my. Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, see exactly. We start getting names in the whole 9 yards. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just over the whole thing. I come off the hiatus. I get on a totally different site because I just why reactivate what didn't work? Like don't even waste your time
well,
with it.
because only if there is like a new influx of people. I mean, I get you. I have been like, yeah, this sucks. Like, there's certain sites where I feel like you're right. It just, oh, I so badly want to say this site, but like, there's this, there's this one site that really is just, it is trash. Like, it's people who aren't looking for anything. It's not going to get you anywhere. Um, but I don't know, something that it's like, you know what? If there's like 12,000 new people every day,
That's just a lot.
I might potentially, you never know.
So how do we navigate through that to find those potentials that it could lead into something? What is it? And I know we know how to go through the profiles, and it's about having a conversation and then having that initial meeting and all of that. But I don't, what I, it's such a game of chance because you just don't know until you have a conversation or meet in person at a very public, lit place. But there's no way for you to really know. How do we navigate that?
I feel like, I mean, just like, I say like doula work is vibe work, and you know what I mean? Like that. I feel like relationships are very much like that. My problem is, there's a lot of people who know how to fake a vibe. There's a
Yeah,
lot of people who know how to pretend to be something that they're not because they see something in you and just want to attach to that.
yeah.
Or we give ourselves away in a conversation enough for someone to be like, oh, okay, I read between the lines. Here's the sweet spot with this. And now
Mhm.
I can be able to take advantage of, you know, um, I know someone who was in a relationship with someone that just moved very oddly and was very like manipulative, and they didn't necessarily see it when they initially were um in a relationship. And it was one of those situations where it was like, where now when you stand on the back end of things, it was like, oh, there was a strategy with this, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
They preyed on a specific person that had these specific traits, which is why X, Y, and Z happened. Like, and it's just, I don't know, those kind of people in the world. That's where I'd be like, yeah, I'd be totally fine if we handmaid's tailed it and strung a couple folks up on the wall. Like, those people should go on the wall. Like,
Yeah.
are you gonna if you're gonna piss in the dating pool, then you should get strung up. Like,
Well, I need to find a different pool because these pissy pools I don't want to be in.
no,
Like,
I have friends that have been married for like 18, 19 years that met online. Like I said, that site Black Planet.
yeah.
And I was like, what? How did you meet? And when I tell you, her husband is absolutely spectacular. Like, I love watching like how he like loves her and shows up for his family, is very, very involved, and they go back and forth with just bettering each other. There is a bit of an age gap, I believe, and sometimes I wonder like if that made a difference. Like, sometimes I
Mhm.
wonder. But like, I laughed the other day where I was like, you know what? When I was younger, I used to like older men, not too much older. Like,
What's your max?
I used to have a cap to it. Well, when I was like in my 20s, I think my cap was probably like 35, so maybe like 15 years. But the
Okay.
funny thing is, it was like right now, like cap. I mean, I was approached by a guy who was in his 60s,
Oh, I've had a few of those 60s and
and he was
70s.
like,
Yeah.
he was, and I was like, I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
I
Not
was
for
like, you got kids my age. He did. I was like, you got kids my age. Like, at this point in time, like, we might be better matched. And I don't know. Like, I think about it like as my parents. Like, I know when my parents split, I would have dared my father to show up with a woman that was my age. I'd have beat her senseless.
My
Like I
son just told me, he was like, Mom, he said, you don't need to date anybody that's close to my age, sir. I won't. I
yeah.
will not. And even though I'm 49, so 15 years older than me, what is that? 50, 64. Now I'm not doing that. If you are my cap, 56 is pushing it for me because I just think about the number. Because you have some 56, 55, 56 year olds who get around and are fit and everything like they're in their 40s. And then you have some who are like in their they act like they're in their 70s. I'm sorry, I don't want to get with you and then you end up with a heart attack and dead because you just
Well, I
couldn't.
don't know. You better look at what them numbers look like. Them numbers look all right. You never know. Like, I mean, I might take one for the team just to secure the bag. I
Then
mean,
it's like, well, I got to start all over again with that. That's over.
yeah.
Yeah, or same thing. Yeah, Peach, those years where they can't do nothing. Like I'm at my prime right here. You know, you got to be able to keep up. If you can't keep up, like
Listen. And it was
that's
funny. So
another
I was having
thing.
a conversation the other day, and it was like, I keep hearing from older women, and there is a reel with the sound is like, if you go on, if I'm gonna get up here, you better, do what you need to do on the back end too, right? And so I cracked up laughing because the conversation was like, well, a lot of older women, when they get on top, like they can't tend to stay. They complain about their knees. It's like not a whole bunch of, it's like a whole bunch of work, this, that, and the third. And I was just like, I mean, just because chronologically, or I'm 40, doesn't mean I go in the category with like every 40-year-old. Like, you can't.
Don't
You know what I
don't
mean?
forget.
Every picture apparently I'm pulling 20-year-olds still. And they'd be like, there's no way that you're 40. Yes. Go home and drink your Capri Sun, son. Like you're a little too young for me. You know what I mean? Even like 33, I'm like,
Yeah, I had a
mentality
34
wise,
year
there's a
old.
big difference between 33 and 40. Like, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
they're still not even in the same. And I know we're talking, it doesn't seem like that many years, but I do see a difference in the mentality from like 33 to 40.
yeah. I had a few days ago, maybe. I got a notification about a 34 year old, and I go look, and he's nice looking, but he has no kids, never been married. That's a no for me, sir. Number one, you're too young. You're too young. I'll be 50 in January. Like, nah, I'm not doing that. And
Yeah.
you don't have any kids because I don't want you looking at me like,
Yeah.
I
I want to,
was
yeah,
always hoping to have a nothing, a what, a dog, a bird,
exactly.
a gerbil, because not no baby, nothing.
Yeah, I don't think I would be open to someone with no kids
Oh yeah,
unless,
that's an automatic no for me.
yeah, I think it's a no, because I'm like, I feel like there's just certain things that like we really can't talk about, or you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
even if your kids are older, I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
that is something like that comes up. Do you want more kids? And
Yeah.
especially with our age, you know what I mean? We have society that tells us that at a certain age that we shouldn't have children anymore. But then you look at the lady in Ethiopia who I think is like 80 something years old, who just had her first child.
Oh my God.
So like, I don't know, childbirth is a very individualized thing, and we can't necessarily put a timeline on it. And we don't have to always feel like there's that clock that's ticking, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, biologically. But it is very much a conversation to have in the beginning, or else honestly, it's like, what is the point? And there are plenty of people out here that don't want to have kids. There are plenty
Yeah.
of people out here that have kids that don't want anymore, or are, just about done raising kids. Cause I was like, that's important. Like, you know what I mean? You dating right now, you don't want somebody who wants an empty nest because you
Yeah.
still got a 9-year-old
I
at
still
home.
get, right.
You know what
Exactly.
I mean? So if that's what
Right.
the expectation is, unfortunately, right now, sir, we don't match. Like,
You're right. I had one guy, I won't forget this one. Very nice guy, good conversations. We never met in person. We had good conversations, talked quite a bit. and he wanted to was talking about possibly having kids. I'm like, oh, I'm not doing it. He was like, well, we don't have to, I could just be okay. And so then I'm still talking to him, and another conversation that came up again, and he was like, well, if I would decide I want to have kids, then you're not going to stop me from having kids. I was like, oh, I said, well, then what would we be? He was like, well, we still have our thing going on, but I'm going to go and have some kids. I said, excuse me? So we going to have our thing going on, but you going to go with somebody else and have kids, but you with me? No. Yeah, you might want to just go find somebody to do that with, because that's not getting.
Well, that was a conversation on that. What was that, 90 Day Fiance? With the Nigerian guy, Michael, and I think the girl's name was Angela. He was still somewhat young and didn't have any kids, and she already had kids. She had grandkids.
Oh,
And
wow.
she was like, I don't want any more kids. And he was like, that's cool. But, as an African, it's about our legacy and being able to pass that on. So, I mean, you want to get married, which is cool, but I'm gonna go have some kids somewhere. And she was like, then no, you not. Well, he now has been awarded half of her everything, whatever it is. And yeah, and now he can just go have those kids he wanted.
With her stuff.
With her, yeah. But she was mean anyway, so.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay away. So I immediately, I mean, if you're nice looking, I want to look at your profile. But if I'll even consider those that have never been married. Now that's okay. I will consider it. But if you don't have any kids, yeah, that's a problem. Now, if you are in your late 40s, you're in your 50s, early to mid 50s, and you don't have any kids, then that's probably by choice. So you might be cool with that idea. But I'm still going to ask, just because, how did you go this long and not have any kids? Like, was that by choice? And so some just choose to do so. I did see that on one profile. This guy said that he doesn't have any children, and that's by choice. I'm like, well, kudos to you.
Yeah. But see, I was like, those profiles are the ones that scare me, though, only because it's like, well, okay, you didn't have children by choice, but what does that mean as far as children being in your environment? Because there's some people who don't want children around, like, at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, I'll admire them from a distance, or, you know what I mean? It's cool if my friends or my siblings have them, and, I'll spoil those kids and then send them home. You know what I mean? What's the craziest message that you've gotten?
Oh, wow. I don't know.
I got called an auntie cougar. It was like, you need to get off this app because you're gonna get yourself in trouble. Yeah.
You should have said, young buck, you get yourself in trouble.
Literally, I was like, I don't think you
I had something similar like that.
Tenderoni.
There's this group. I can't remember the name of the group, but it's for singles on Facebook that I got. I don't know why I put myself in this group, but at any rate, I don't interact at all. Every now and then I'll put a picture in there, but that's about it. And so there was this guy, believe it or not, and that I saw, and I sent a friend request to him. He accepted that. So we were messaging back and forth in the app, in Facebook Messenger. And normally I would not even connect with someone this age. And I don't know, I must have just got caught up that day and just went to, because he's like 39. What was you thinking? But anyway, too late, we conversating. And then I said, wait a minute. Didn't you say in your thing on the app, in the group, that you're 39? And he was like, yeah. And so he asked me how old I was. And I told him. He said, hold on. He goes back to my profile. He was like, either you lying or you've been really taking care of yourself. I'm like, I'm not lying. I'm that age. And then he said this that just just deflated my little balloon. He said, "So I must be like a baby to you, Ninja." Ninja. You about to get these words in this message. I was like, oh, so I immediately was like, no, I'm done.
I mean, again, to each his own. There are some people like, I mean, I grew up, I have friends whose parents were 17 years apart. I mean, if it works for you, it works for you.
And yeah, if it does.
For me, my experiences have just been when men get too old for me, they start trying to act like they're my dad.
Oh
And I'm
no,
like, I
we're
got
not
one of
doing that.
those. Actually,
Yeah,
I've got two. So at
we're
this
not doing
point,
that.
like, you can either be, you can be my companion, you can be my partner, or we can't do this. But you're not about to be really around here telling me what to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, I'm like either the pimp vibes or the daddy vibes. Either one of them, they not flying with me at all.
I'm most proud of myself for my growth, for being able to stand up for what I will tolerate and what I don't, and being vocal.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of BS that I would deal with from men
Mm-hmm.
previously, and it was very toxic, and I should have walked away and I didn't. But now I'm in my big girl, grown woman era. Like, I don't have to put up with this. I don't have to deal with this. You're not going to interrupt my peace. You're not going to come at me that way. It's going to be respect or there will be blockage. And I tell, look, you think I'm playing. I will block you. There's several of them now that keep trying. And you know, when you block someone, you can still see them on the call log, but they never can get through because you have them blocked. I still see them on there. Oh, you didn't think I was going to do it? You thought I was lying. So then they wait a little bit and then try again thinking that I unblocked them. No, once you're blocked, you're blocked. The only way you're going to have to send me a smoke signal or send me an email. And then there's one, my son's father, I kid you not. He didn't think I'd do it. I did it. He's blocked even on email. Like, you can't even send me an email. Leave me alone. No, I'm not going to do it. So that's one thing that I'm really proud of myself, because I don't put up with that, and I easily identify things that I don't like and I don't want from the beginning, and then I'm disconnecting because I don't have to waste my time. Like in my thing, there's like 20 men that have already liked my profile. Why am I going to waste my time with you when I know that you have an attitude, or you don't have what I want, or you come all out the side of your neck crazy? Why am I going to do that? I'm not. I'm done. I'm done. No, I don't have time for that. And I think if we as women, if a lot more women would be, there are a lot of us that are that way. But I think if there were more of us that were that way, then it would, or more men that were that way, because there's a lot of men that put up with a lot of BS for women. And I've heard some stories about some women that would just try to get money, like literally the same day. Can I get, this for this bill or that bill? Like, chick, I don't even know you. But if we would stand up more for that, maybe, just maybe, things will turn around. I'm not saying that it will, but I'm wishful thinking, hopefully. But I don't know. All I can do is say what I'm going to do for April. And that's what I'm doing for me, which is probably why I'm still in the situation I'm in now. Like,
I feel you. But let's definitely talk about that. Like, I mean, setting boundaries on, with
yeah,
online dating and being able to identify red flags from green ones. You know what I mean? I know,
yeah,
like, as I sift through and have conversations, it's like, again, people can tell you any and everything. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Especially when it's on the phone or, you know what I mean, through a keyboard. That, and a lot of the times, if you have someone who's a really good listener, all they have to do is wait. And for us being conversationalists, or being open or transparent, or what I mean, really honestly in it to win it type of situation, we tell too much, or we give too much
yeah,
information, which
right,
then gives people the MO to kind of like hang us up. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So I
right.
was like, I feel like those
I'm guilty of that.
those
giving too
those
much
boundaries.
information.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
now
yeah.
very even the profile that I have is very basic. It may be a sentence or two, and it could be something like profound that I thought has no information on me to any depth of anything. No, you're gonna have to have a conversation to find that out. And because I don't want to give you the cheat code, like I don't want to give you the cliff notes to me, and then you can come in, like you said, and put up this front. And now we're 6 to 8 months down the road, and your true colors are showing, and I've wasted 6 to 8 months with you when I could just been doing something different. I just don't have the patience nor the time for that. So
Yeah. Or
very
you
much,
got these, like I said, these really nicely eloquent profiles, but the lifestyle doesn't match it. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's like, oh, I'm looking for a queen, but you still living in your mama's basement. Like, bruh,
right,
why are you even on here?
yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
not that, and like you said before, not that you have to make so much money, but you got to have your own. Like, how are you going to navigate through that, especially for like me that has my own? Not saying that you're a bad person, because you could be at a transitional time in your life. I've had to go move back in with my mom until
Yes,
I got
yes,
myself
yes,
together. But I was hightailing it out of there as
exactly. Yes, you weren't
I
intending to
was
stay.
not
Yes.
right. I was not comfortable. Like, oh, I'm just gonna post up here and just this is good. I could just work and save my own money. I don't have to do it. No, I wanted my own space, so I got my own. I went to school. I graduated from college. I got my job. I have my own place. Got my vehicle. So you got to be able to at least have something of yours. If you're still like, how am I going to come visit you and you're in your mother's basement? And she's like, John, you all right down there? Y'all want something to eat? No, ma'am, I'm leaving. I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
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 good.
I'm going. I'm going.
Yeah,
You know what I
I'm
mean?
done. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's too much. It's too much.
Yeah. I mean, so I was like, definitely, I was like, we need to be safe. Set some, safety boundaries when it comes to, online dating. Don't
Yeah,
share your personal information. Like I said, make sure your friends know where you going, who you going with, what time you there, what time you coming back. Like, you know what I mean? Let people know the plan. Share your
yeah.
location. Like, it's 2025.
I did something really bold. This had to be 2021, 22, one of the two. I connected with this guy on Facebook. Not
Mhm.
on Facebook dating, just on Facebook, period. I don't even know how we came, but he came across my profile. We had no connections with nobody. He didn't know me from a can of paint. I didn't know him. And so he sent me a friend request, and I looked at, I was like, oh, he's nice looking. So friend request accepted. We're chatting. Then we start video chatting. And every day we were video chatting most of the day. It was great. It was great. And then this was in November of 2021 or 22. I can't remember. So he wants me to come and see him. He lives in Tennessee. I got bold enough to say, why not? Not ever met this man in person.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
students were like, Miss A, are you all right? We need everything on him. We need his driver's license number. We need his phone number. We need all that. He was like, tell your students I'll give them whatever they want. He's like, I'm not ready to do anything crazy to you. Now I'm on the plane like, you are going to Tennessee to see someone. Get to the airport. He's there. Had an amazing time. And to this day, we are still good friends. To this day. I could call him up right now and have a conversation with him. We still talk. We're still good friends. All
See,
of
I was gonna say that's the only type of relationships right now that have been successful for me with online dating. Like, I have gotten some amazing male friends out of online dating.
that.
You know what I mean? Some really good prospects. I might be like, you know what, on paper, he looks great, just not a good match for me type of
Mhm.
deal. You know
Right.
what I mean? But still, like, quality.
Yeah.
So, if I don't know, online dating for me is like going into the store and I see all these nice things on the mannequins, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, like I look great in that. I look great in that. And then I go into the dressing room and I put it on, and I'm like, it does not look like it did on the never mind.
Yeah.
And, hang it right back up. Like, that's kind of how I feel.
What
But
about showing up as yours? And I think Peach said it about being your authentic self. Like I used to be very reserved when I
mm-hmm.
met someone. But now, oh, you're gonna get the full effect of April because I'm gonna be silly. I'm gonna clown. This is who I am. Either you're gonna like it or lump it. If you don't, then hey, then it wasn't meant to be. But I can't bring my representative. You're gonna get the real me. So I don't have to try to keep up this facade for 6 months. And then after I feel like I'm in there, and then now I just let my hair down and I start acting crazy. And you're like, hold up, this isn't the same chick. That's exhausting to be able to do that. I want to
Yeah.
be, and I always will be my authentic self. So from the very first conversation on the phone, it's like, wow, this is you. Yeah, this is me. This is how I am. This is the stuff that comes out of my mouth. This is how I'm gonna make you laugh. This is where my thought process is. So you make the decision today if you're going to put up with that or even be interested to hear more. But a lot of people aren't doing that, and that's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Absolutely. And I think we also have to remember, like, to be mindful of the conversation that we have, like, in the beginning of, like, those first dates. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, not trauma dumping or, you know what I
Oh
mean? Bringing
yeah.
on extra stuff because there's some people who
Right.
just, and normalizing things like, I'm not ready to talk about that yet. Or, that's the story for another time. Or, if we continue to get to know each other, like, then we can unpack that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But again, like I was
Absolutely.
saying, setting boundaries, but being able to honor yourself but still carry a conversation. You know what I mean? I could respect me asking somebody a question and they go,
Yeah.
I'm not at a place where, I can answer that right now, or I don't have an answer for you. I know I was asked a pretty thought-provoking question the other day, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna actually have to get back to you on that. And I said, I promise I'm not avoiding, the question, but I want to make sure that the answer I give is
Mm-hmm.
well thought out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I'm not
Right.
trying to, do other things. Or, sometimes you even have to set, boundaries as far as like the time people have access to you. You know what I mean? Like I'm funny style with the time that people call me. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, don't call me at midnight.
But I do this with everybody. I don't care who it is. If I
Yeah.
look at my phone and if it's a time that I don't want to talk, I don't feel like talking, I'm engaging in something else, it's like, yeah, no, I'll call them back. And so I don't answer because I'm in my time. But dude, what do you call me at midnight for? Why? Why?
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I don't know. Most of the time, I'm like, either something's really wrong, or again, this is one of them booty call calls.
Oh, yeah.
And then for me, I'm gonna be like, okay, so did I send you that message that made you feel like it was okay to call me for
Right.
this, or are you just tripping? Like,
Thankfully, none of them, all of the ones that I have encountered within the past, I could say 6 months, only one has been in within like 10 minutes of me.
mm,
Everybody else has been 2 hours or more. And then it never did happen. So I'm like, whatever.
that long distance relationships, those can be rough at times.
Yeah.
I mean, but I also feel like um they're also very real. Like
Hmm.
it forces you to have to communicate on a level that sometimes that day to day you wouldn't get.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a whole different ball game. But those that have asked me that they've been in um, where in Mississippi or in Alabama, or there was one I think in South Carolina, and their question is, what do you think about long distance dating? Even in Tampa, because Tampa's 6 hours for me. Like, what do you think about? What's your take on long distance relationships? I said they will work if both parties put in the work. Like
Yeah.
you have to do the work. If you're both, you come up with a schedule on how you're going to spend time together, and you're going to have to communicate a lot, and there has to be all of that in there for it to be successful. If it's only going to be one person and the other one isn't going to do it, like there's a guy that I talked to for a short time in Tampa. I went to Tampa to an event, told him I'm going to be in Tampa this weekend. This is when I'm coming in. This is when I'm leaving. It will be great to see you because we have been on video chat quite a bit. And I get there and I call this person and text him to let him know I'm in town. And then after the event, I'm like, hey, we're going to this restaurant to get something to eat. Maybe you can come and we can hang out until I leave. Never showed up. I'm like, yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, see, those are like the type of people that are just like, they're dating for vibes. Those are those casual daters, the ones that, you know what I mean, typically don't end up. It's like, let them vibe alone.
Yeah, you will. You won't
Because
vibe
there
with
wasn't a true intention in there.
right.
Holy smokes. Well, yeah, I don't know. Yes, they do have to be attractive, although that's not, as I was saying like last week, that's not like my first thing.
Well, that's where we differ, my friend.
But I mean, it's necessary. It's necessary, but it's not the first thing. And I feel like sometimes online dating makes me have to put that first, or would, you know what I mean? That like, that's kind of the requirement before sifting through more of what, a person is.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know, it's a jungle out here. I don't know. We ever thought about dating internationally?
No. Oh my God, since you said that, and we got to get off here. But so when I came off my hiatus, the first one I went on was apparently for people everywhere. So I put in my preferences. I wanted someone in the US, age, all of this stuff. I don't care about the race because I've never dated outside of my race, but I'm like, shoot, what the heck? When I tell you this particular app, I had men from Brazil, from Colombia, from Spain, and on this app, they can video call you. So every few seconds, I had this person, he wants to video chat with you. He wants to video chat with you. I was like, oh my God, it was so much. Like the inbox of mine filled up so fast. It was crazy. I'm like, this can't be real. These can't be real people. And I wigged me out and I deleted my profile and deleted the app. I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. No, because the pictures, they didn't look real.
Yeah.
Look like a model or someone in a picture. I'm like, no, thank you. I'm good. I know. But
snack would have ate you up.
Yeah, I'm done. Well, we're gonna have to get out of here, y'all. We're going to miss you while we are gone. However, we'll be back in January and we will let you know when. But just know on House of Peach page that there will be another show that will be airing. Sometimes I will be on that show. Sometimes Morgan will be on that show. Sometimes it may be us together. It's going to be different people on with various topics that will be discussed. We want you to continue to enjoy what House of Peach is producing and the expansion that is to come. We pray and hope that you guys have an amazing rest of your week and also amazing time in the short little time that we will be gone. Oh, so did you see that? Abe says we all know what that midnight call is for. Absolutely. I'm not answering. If I'm answering, I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? But have an amazing rest of your week. Don't miss us too bad. And if you want to be on our show when we come back in January, then hit us up in our inbox or call us, whatever. Most of you have our numbers. Get in contact with us. We're going to do things differently in a good way. And we're going to add and expand the Boss Ladies Lounge even more for the next season. We appreciate your support. We appreciate your comments coming on. We appreciate you sharing it out, but we want even greater growth because there's more expansion, there's more reach that we need to have. And it's going to come not only from us, but for you guys as well. So until next season in January.
Yes. Thanks, bud.
Thank you. Until next season, which starts in January 2026. We love you guys. Have a great evening.